Hare Hare Krishna Krishna everybody together Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. One more time, everybody. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahansa, Padavikacharya, Satara Satta Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahansa, Padavikacharya, Satara Satta Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Sai Mukunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Priya Mridanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Krishna Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Go Premanandi. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hey Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari O Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari O Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Hey Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe Kala Chandri Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe Kala Chandri Radhe Radhe. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Harinama Sankirtana ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Goda Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, thank you for your association. I'm stepping in for my wife today, so whoever expected her, please forgive me. So first of all, I'd like to glorify the community and Chaitanya Chandra's efforts in the St. Patrick's Day Rath Yatra. It was very, very unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Huh? He's never seen so many people love the Hare Krishnas. Keep going. I'll do it for an hour. I'll just. So yeah, it's such a honor and blessing to be in this community where such initiatives are going on, where devotees have given their life to sharing Krishna consciousness with others. As we know, that's the whole momentum of the movement. Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, asked him, please share this message in the English-speaking language, right? So from that initial instruction, everything that's going on in the whole International Society for Krishna Consciousness has developed. This temple, this restaurant, this school, the temple in Houston, the temple in Africa, the temple in China, all over the world, this movement has spread because of the desire of the pure devotees to revive the dormant love for Krishna in all of us. So we're eternally indebted. And those that take up the service of Prabhupada's service to his guru become magnanimous souls, and we all get the opportunity to assist them. It was such an amazing day. I think from 9 in the morning we were there. Even before getting there, the devotees went on the chariot and did kirtan. It's an open chariot, so they were doing kirtan from the get-go. As they were driving to the site, people that pulled up next to them, I'm sure they were like, wow, these people are like sitting on a flatbed, decorated, singing and playing instruments. It's like, it's not from this. I've never seen that in my life. I'm sure like, just so enlivened to see. So then when we got there, the kirtan continued while the preparations were being made to get into the position where we were in the parade, and it takes some hours. It seemed like until 11:30, I think we didn't really start the parade. So from that moment on, since we got there, we were chanting, and then there was almost 200,000 people that got to see the devotees, hear the holy names, and get prasadam. So this is so magnanimous, and I thank Chaitanya Chandra and all the devotees that served in that capacity. Just like in the WhatsApp group, it said this is the biggest Harinam of the year for us, and it's to be able to reach so many souls with the holy name is a very glorious opportunity. So just wanted to share my appreciation. And this week is spring break for Krishna House. So instead of the usual 7th canto Bhagavatam, we're going to be doing 1st canto, chapter 2. So I thought what came to mind was to read Srila Prabhupada's arrival address. Not address, but arrival poem, where he quotes some of the verses in that section. So I'll read it, and then we can discuss. So on September 18th, 1965, as the Indian steamship Jaladuta nears Boston's Commonwealth Pier, Srila Prabhupada prays to Lord Krishna in a moving poem. Quote, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. So if anybody wants to look this up, you can look it up on the internet and whatnot, but it's also in the Science of Self-Realization. Srila Prabhupada's arrives in America. Is that one? Or I think it's another one. Okay. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. I do not know how they will be able to understand it, but I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible, because you are the most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? O Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. The words of the Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation. And if a sober person repeatedly receives them with submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 17 through 21, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, the Supersoul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees oneself and one's master. Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's why I hesitated. I think they must have edited it over here. Okay, go ahead and read yours.
The chain of fruitive actions, karma, is terminated when one sees the self as master, meaning capital S.
Yeah, that's the way it's in the Bhagavatam.
Right.
That's not the way it's in the book here. Okay, we'll carry on. We can.
Translation: he will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I'm very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. O Lord, make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhaktivedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on board the ship Jaladita, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated 18th of September, 1965.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauda Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this prayer is so absorbed in the mood of Prabhupada's full desire to share Krishna consciousness with the world that it's good to read every day when we wake up. Again, like sometimes devotees, they look at in the beginning of the movement, Prabhupada wrote some lines of what the mission statement is for the movement. I forgot what most of them are, but some devotees read those every day. And I remember when I first joined or started distributing books in the LA temple, one of the devotees, he would read this every morning, this prayer, Prabhupada's arrival prayer, every morning before starting book distribution. So I find this, I just want to go, this one verse that Prabhupada says in the prayer, I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. So Prabhupada's desire is our qualification, right? Sometimes they say, what is the qualification for accepting devotional service? And Prabhupada once told his devotees, I made your qualification, So this is by the desire of a pure devotee. Krishna lives to reciprocate with his devotees. Just like the devotee eternally wants to glorify Krishna and serve Krishna, so Krishna is Bhaktavatsal. Krishna is just living to reciprocate love with his devotees, to glorify his devotees. So, not to say, okay, we're good, we don't have to do anything now. We've already been wished on by a pure devotee. Prabhupada's desiring that we're delivered. So, now we have to link up with that desire. The whole lifestyle that Prabhupada's given us, that's how we reciprocate with that blessing. So, I wanted to, stress this mood that Prabhupada's whole momentum from, imagine just the history of it. Prabhupada was begging a ride on this Jaladuta ship, right? He went into he found out about, the merchant ship. It wasn't even a passenger ship. Found out about a cargo ship, and he went to the owner what was her name? Mrs. Murarji, Sumati Murarji. And he went and had a meeting with her, and she didn't want to do it because she saw that he was almost, he was elderly. She thought, what will you eat there? How will you survive? She didn't want to allow him to do it out of her compassion for him being elderly. And Prabhupada was so determined that even he tried to convince her, but she didn't allow him to go on the ship. So he waited on the steps of the company for when she was done with work. And then when she came out, he employed her again, begging, like what Prabhupada says in the, it's just so, the level of humility is like overwhelming. It's like, Prabhupada says, sign the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar. Is like, that's what the Sena, in one sense, the Senapata Bhakta, right? That's predicted in the scriptures, that there'll be a commanding general of bhakti that'll spread devotion throughout the whole world or universe, has this mood, or he's the commanding general that's given this world a chance. Otherwise, who knows where it would be without Krishna consciousness being spread to the degree it is now, and it'll spread more and more because the momentum is just snowball effect, right? And Krishna consciousness is anandam buddhi vardhanam. It's ever increasing ocean of bliss. So we see that so many more temples are being opened, so many more people are taking to the process of bhakti. So just to hone in on this mood that Prabhupada was begging for the opportunity to give all of us Krishna consciousness and the world. And Mrs. Murarji, seeing his, complete determination, said, all right, and gave him passage on the Jaladuta. And it's explained that on the Jaladuta that, Prabhupada had 2 heart attacks. After one of the heart attacks, he had a vision of Krishna rowing a boat with all of his different incarnations in the boat. And from that, he gathered that, okay, this mission is being guided by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so it'll be successful, because at one stage he even felt that he may pass away on the boat. And then Prabhupada observed Janmashtami, and in his diary, anybody read the diary? Prabhupada's diary is so endearing also. Like, sometimes I remember one passage that he wrote in there. He said that had held an event, held a program, chanted for half an hour, spoke for a little bit, nobody came, meeting was successful. And I was like, wow. Well, similarly, that Janmashtami, he wrote in his diary saying that back in India and in my guru's temples, everybody's observing big festival with big kirtans, and all the devotees are gathered together with big feasts and prasadam, and I am all alone, but I do not feel the separation from my spiritual master. So, and then I think in that lecture that Tamal Krishna Maharaj gave on his disappearance observance in the temple room, he said that he had asked Prabhupada about separation from your guru, and Prabhupada said, I never felt the separation, I never feel the separation of my spiritual master. Because as we see, Prabhupada's mood, his whole life's energy is to fulfill the instruction of his spiritual masters. Like we know when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a friend of his, friend of our Prabhupada, came and said, come see this sadhu, see this holy man. And Prabhupada, I've seen so many. I'm not interested. And practically his friend had to, beg him. That's like the mood here. The beg our Prabhupada, no, come. And then, as we know, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, they pay their obeisances as is accustomed to do to holy people. And even before he rose, before he got up, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, so you are educated, you should spread this message of Lord Chaitanya in the English-speaking language. So he got, from the moment, he didn't know, like, what's your name, where are you from, immediately got the life's mission. So we're seeing in this beautiful prayer how Prabhupada is begging the opportunity to serve the request, the instruction of his spiritual master. And that's what we line ourselves up with. We should beg, when we come and see the deities, we should beg, my dear Radha Kalachandji, we are insignificant. It's even hard to say, right? We are unfortunate, insignificant beggars. That was Prabhupada's utter humility. And from that utter humility, then, Krishna empowered Prabhupada to do what is the ISKCON movement now, to save the world. And there's one, Prabhupada once said that in the future historians will note that this movement saved the world in its darkest hour. You know, so many things are going on the peripheral of like, you know, not, sometimes people may say, oh, well, how many devotees did the restaurant make, or how many people are chanting 16 rounds? That may be a lesser number, but so many different things are happening because of this Krishna consciousness movement being spread. Let's say, like, vegetarianism is so widely known now and practiced, and animal rights, or, you know, people are inclined towards spirituality in different ways. So when we come, like I was saying, we come before the deities, we say, my dear Radha Kalachandji, my dear Guru Shishya Parampara, please allow me the opportunity to assist Srila Prabhupada in this service. And it's easy too. Even we don't come, we just come to the temple. Somebody would say, hey, we're having a festival of joy, can you do this? Oh, hey, we're managing a restaurant, can you do this? We're going out on Harinam, can you come? Can you drive the devotees? So it's just the overflow of Prabhupada's desire, just like that one line that I like, I wish that you may deliver them. So this is solace that such a Senapata Bhakta has already secured our deliverance. Not to be complacent about that and say, okay, we just got a free ride, but also at the same time to have confidence that we're in the loving network of a pure devotee's request to the Supreme Lord. I was listening to a lecture by Radhanath Swami last night, and he was saying that anything that we have, any realization that we have, any service that we've done, it's actually Krishna's potency. Anything we've been able to share with somebody else in Krishna consciousness, it's Krishna's potency using us as an instrument for their purification and our purification, that nothing's ours in one sense. And then when we have that that mood, then Krishna can use us as an instrument more and more. So I was just wanted to hone in on this, you know, mood of Srila Prabhupada, so intensely wanting to give Krishna consciousness to all of us, that it seems like nowadays a lot of times that intensity of that desire to share Krishna consciousness may not be as prominent in our lives. A lot of times we like think, okay, I gotta, save myself first. That's part of it. But Prabhupada's, if we see the way Prabhupada kind of molded the institution, molded the movement, and molded the way we individually should practice, it was side by side or hand in hand, that to give Krishna to others, Krishna gives himself to us. So to organize our life, just like Prabhupada says in one purport, that we should organize our life in such a way that we can't not but think of Krishna. It's kind of an interesting way to use the words, what he said. So similarly, we should organize our life and our sadhana in such a way that we're in the same line of begging the Lord to be able to help others in that compassionate mood. Then also, like I was saying, then Krishna, okay, in order for you to give me, give my mercy to others, then you also have to get mercy. So just some thoughts on this prayer here. If anybody would like to share reflections or realizations, we have a mic over there.
Haribol, thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Thank you.
I was kind of looking forward to the Srimad Bhagavatam, but when you wanted to focus on this, I was thinking it's non-different. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you.
Thank you, Mother Kunti.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Oh, okay. Good. I have another point after you. Oh.
Prabhu, you were talking about how we should develop the same mood as Srila Prabhupada to try to share Krishna consciousness. And a lot of times we feel, especially in the Western world here, while we are sometimes try to do that, we realize how difficult it can be, and that makes us realize the potency of Srila Prabhupada. And the deficiency that we have, the inabilities that we have. And sometimes even comparing ourselves with other devotees, we feel that we may not be the best persons to do this in some ways or the other, we may, because of our deficiencies. So how do we kind of get over the fact that, like sometimes we do develop this, what's the word, I don't know what's the word is, but that I'm not the best person for this job, because there is so many services to do. So sometimes we feel that we are not the best person cut out for this kind of a preaching opportunity. Sometimes we feel like that. So how can we get over that?
Well, I think it's the natural nature of a devotee to feel unqualified, to be able to transform our own hearts, to help purify others. But that's like Prabhupada's even Prabhupada was saying, I'm the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar. So that's the mood. Then you can be instrumental, because like I was trying to say, then it's not us. So what to speak of, even Prabhupada had this mood before anything happened. Like let's say for a year, nothing really manifested in terms of people being attracted to. He was giving talks in Butler, Pennsylvania, and then he shifted to New York. He was giving talks, and there was no traction. Then, he just did his service. Okay, I'm just following, just like I was saying, Prabhupada said, held a program, chanted for half an hour, spoke for 20 minutes, nobody came, meeting was successful. So yeah, like we're not the doers. So whether something comes of it, something doesn't, we're fulfilling the order of our guru, and that is the success. Whether Krishna like Prabhupada's giving the mood in this prayer. I think this prayer can be read and thought about and contemplated over and over. What did he say? Yeah, somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. Yeah, Prabhupada gives the whole devotional mindset for, sometimes we're thinking, like if we go out on book distribution, one Mataji, she heard that there was a good place to distribute books and it was far away. She traveled a few hours to get there. Usually she was accustomed to distributing many books, and she did one small book in the whole day. And she came back feeling feeling down, thinking, it wasn't a good effort or whatnot. But then later on, many years later, she found out that person became a devotee, got initiated and took full advantage of the book and the whole thing like that. So, yeah, it's not up to us, like Prabhupada, for a year, nothing happened. But, the other thing I was saying is that also then Prabhupada's mood of utter humility was there even at the end of the mission, right? After it was so successful, let's say, right? That thousands and thousands of people took up the lifestyle of devotion, and so many temples and the whole movement and whatnot, farm communities and schools and restaurants, and even then Prabhupada had the same. That's maybe even harder. Imagine, most of us, that we don't have like a track record of like something so incredible, make feel a little proud if they can. Sometimes devotees say, "Oh, I made him a devotee." And that's like, some devotees say, "No, you didn't make anybody a devotee." You may have been instrumental in introducing or whatnot, but the Krishna is all attractive. It's Krishna. Well, then we get more devotional, and we also have devotional qualities, but they're Krishna's.
Thank you for a nice answer, Prabhu. One more thought came to my mind, like for Chaitanya Prabhu's nice question. I think it boils down to our desire. Like Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu had this desire to spread Krishna consciousness at the St. Patrick's Day parade, and we were all instruments. So many devotees went and sang, distributed Krishna consciousness. So I think my humble and
yeah, nice answer. My first response, I was going to say, Nike.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. That's what came to mind. I was like, you feel insignificant? Do what you're being asked. The mood Prabhupada wants you to share. The books are already printed by somebody else, or you can be part of that too. But I'm saying the temples are there, the instruments are there. Just feel that way, and also. Anybody else like to? Prabhupada Priya?
Oh, Jaya, I wanted to talk about another point that you made that I really liked. I was hearing on the live. Does someone else want to say something on that point and then come back to me?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. We're here.
Okay. Because you were pointing out how it's almost ironic how Srila Prabhupada was like the Senapati Bhakta, the person who came to like save the whole world, and it was predicted in the scriptures and all that. And yet he was so humble, because if someone's like a military commander, then it's all about authority and, like, I'm the boss, and there's a sense of pride that comes with that, right? And I was just thinking that, that's the way it works, like in the material world, but spiritual world is like the opposite, that the more qualified, the more of a spiritual leader somebody is in bhakti, then the more humble they are, the more like meek they are, the more they feel themselves insignificant, and that's actually their strength. You know, like their humility is their strength, and that's why, like Srila Prabhupada signs that with all humility at my command. You know, because he recognizes that it was his humility that was actually going to be the source of his empowerment, because that was what enabled him to call out for the mercy and, you know, beg. Because when he says your most insignificant beggar, what he's begging for is the mercy. He's begging for the mercy from his guru, from the Lord, realizing himself helpless. So, yeah, it's just yet another way in which spiritual life and material life are like day and night. Just like Krishna says that what's the time of awakening for all beings is a time of whatever. So, yeah, a time of going to sleep for is night for the introspective sage. So what power looks like in bhakti is something very different from what power and authority looks like in material circles.
Thank you.
The more puffed up someone is, the more neophyte they are.
The more what?
The more puffed up someone is, the more neophyte they are.
I think the opposite. Prabhu, how do you cultivate this humility? Because, you know, okay. How do you cultivate this humility? Because, I mean, I can speak for myself. I just want to be in the center, push Krishna away all the time.
Anybody answer? I can't answer that. No. How do I cultivate humility? Yeah, I think, well, one thing that comes to mind is it's not a material quality. It's like Sanatana Goswami says in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, that danya, is that humility?
Dain.
How do you say it? Dainya. Dainya is synonymous with prem. So if you really have the quality of humility, you also then you're exhibiting the pure love of the soul. So it's like that's perfection. So that's the highest expression. Prabhupada's expressing the highest expression of pure love for Krishna, because you see Krishna's beauty, you see Krishna's potencies as they are, and you see, you know, so that's how, you know, it's not a, so we're working towards it more and more, and you know, it's like what comes to mind is just doing the service that you've been asked, like Prabhupada's showing by example. There's that one message was, please spread this Krishna consciousness, spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in the English speaking language. I was like, boom. So we're doing, that is that's our Maha Prasad. We take his Prasad and we try, okay, I'm trying in my life to do that, to please my Guru who's serving Prabhupada, who's serving his Prabhupada. And then we have to constantly be making adjustments, just like, you know, they say that a plane is going to its destination, they're always recalibrating. They're basically, it's going off a little bit, this way or that way, and it's always, okay, a little adjustment this direction, a little adjustment that to get back on the track. So we're going to fail, or not fail, but we're going to be making, you know, not the purest, humble offerings in our purifying stages. So then we're open to correction, you know, like Vaisheshika Prabhu, I live to be corrected, that, you know, that phrase. So then we have that attitude, okay, I know I'm not going to be doing the most humble efforts, so then I'm open for correction. Okay, I can be a little more refined in the way I offer, when I go about my service this way. Okay, and then that way it's like, you know. Anybody else like to say something on that or another point or two? Sandra, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
I would like to share that for some reason unexplainable, I love New York City. And when I found out about our guru coming to the city, I would like to ask you if you could share a little bit more of his time in the city. And I mean, because for some reason I've been to New York for so many times, and yeah, really, every time that I'm there, I feel like home for some reason. I felt like maybe he left a lot of his essence.
Sure, yeah, wherever a pure devotee goes is surcharged with his devotion. So hopefully, yeah, that's why you are attracted. Yeah, he was, Prabhupada, a few of his godbrothers, they went to London, so he was thinking he should go there too, but then he said no, that New York City, he felt, I've heard it said, that is the most important, whatever goes on is the most important city. Whatever happens there, people imitate it all over the world. So he thought, well, first he went to Boston, because that's where his sponsorship was. He had a family and he was trying there, but then he said after some months he went to New York City, and he used to wander. He would walk the streets and study the people, take the bus, study the people, and from that, and his, like it's saying, his pure desire to share Krishna with others, and Krishna reciprocating with that, then he started giving talks. People came. You know this book, Lilamrita? Oh yeah, we'll try to get you one. Do they have the first in the book room? What's that? You don't have the small one? Like a one volume? Can we get it for her? Not right now, but like in 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll give you, the Lilamrita talks about it, and it's really endearing how Prabhupada and how he started his activities, and it goes through the whole beginning of the movement too. It's 7 volumes. If you want to read the whole thing, it's real. Sometimes devotees in different temples read it at breakfast, but yeah, it's very glorious. There's the tree that Prabhupada started the first kirtan at in Tompkins Square. It's a holy place. There's the first temple or center called Matchless Gifts. And we can talk more about it later, but I think it's running late, so thank you all for your company, association, and Hare Krishna. Have a great day.